Here we go then. Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you very much for your questions. Ali's here, as is Shaka. A lot going on today, of course. We see Rodri win the Ballon d'Or and Ten Hag sacked. Let's start with that, shall we, Mario? What's the general consensus in Holland about Ten Hag's overall time at Manchester United?
The overall consent is like it took a long time for them to make that decision because things were not going well and they were surprised that they waited so long. So I don't even when you look at Holland, look, people are always excited when he brought in some players, you know, because they're from that nation. It comes to the other competition, and it's arguably one of the best competitions at the moment in the world. So that excitement will always be there. But there was one problem, is that things were not looking good and it was not getting better, regardless if he was bringing so many Dutch boys over. So now it's going to be even a bigger problem. The next guy, what is he going to do next?
What's his reputation like now? Will he still be able to go back to Eredivisie and take a big job, do you think, Mario?
Yeah, definitely, because now you can see the size difference. You understand, in England and in Holland, I think he did that well at Ajax that people will go like, no, you know, look, his name in Holland for Ajax situation is that well. Then when you go then to England, okay, that's where the biggest problem started for him. So I think they will look at it and still give him the opportunity, because normally it happens like that in Holland. That's why I think he will get a chance.
Shaka,
yeah.
Did you experience an interim coach coming in midway through the season during your playing days? How did the day-to-day activities change?
An interim, I'm trying to think.
So obviously this is in reflection of Ruud van Nistelrooy is coming in to take over.
So when I was at Reading, Mark McGee left to go to Leicester at the time. Jimmy Quinn and Mick Gooding came and took over as co-interim coaches, and saw the end of the season. We lost in the playoff final that year. I then moved on. At Pompey, when Harry left, we had an interim. Who was I can't remember his name. He wasn't in my coach before.
So the coaches that came in, were they coaching already?
At Reading?
Yes.
No, they were players.
Oh, they were players.
Jimmy Quinn and Mick Gooding were you know, senior players, and they took over.
Right.
It was half a dozen games or whatever.
Okay.
And then the Pompey one, oh no, he wasn't even involved. I can't remember where.
Who was he?
So the owner of Pompey was, I think that was Milan Mandaric, who was from Eastern Europe, and one of his mates was director of football. So we never saw him before. Right. And then all of a sudden, he's interim coach. And didn't go well? Didn't go down well at all.
Okay.
Particularly with me.
Oh dear.
But
why?
Oh. He's the one who brought in Kostas Chalkias, the Greek goalkeeper.
The one that didn't talk to you?
Yeah. So he brought in Kostas. So all that was a part of everything that kind of happened. And then, so he was interim only for a short period, and then Alan Perrin took over.
Oh,
so
I remember Alan Perrin, yeah.
No, I hated him.
Oh, yeah, because he was French?
No. Because he bit me too.
Oh, no.
I'm noticing a kind of a trend here.
I'm being told a name, Zarcic?
Yeah, something like that.
There we go.
Hey, coach.
Yeah.
I mean, Shaq.
Yeah.
This is, in a span of 10 minutes, for whatever reason, two of your former coaches have come up in conversation, and you don't remember their name.
Yeah, but I liked Oscar. I don't feel bad about who.
Vladimir
Zarcic. I don't feel bad about
that. Okay, Ali, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Ruud van Nistelrooy is now the interim coach.
Yes.
Ruud van Nistelrooy came over the summer to be assistant coach to Ten Hag. Since he's arrived, Manchester United have got worse.
Yes.
What's the difference then of being the main man and the assistant man? Because surely you're all in one together.
No, that's not how it works. See, as an assistant, you may have many ideas and many thoughts, and you may bring some of those thoughts to your conversations.
Right.
But you know that in the end, the other guy, in this case Ten Hag, is the one making the decisions, the big decisions, the key decisions. You can only just provide context, you can provide thoughts, but it gets to the point as an assistant that you have to be very careful as to how many thoughts you put out there so that the manager doesn't get the ideas like, well, you want to coach the team? Huh?
So would you keep some ideas in your pocket because you think maybe if the manager's sacked?
No, I don't think you keep them in your pocket, but I think you understand where the manager is coming from in terms of whatever his thought process is, and you don't want to seem as if you're coming across as being against him in every single decision that he makes. You want to support what the manager is putting out there because you want to be able to sell that to the players. And if you don't believe it yourself as an assistant, how do you sell it to a player? How do you convey that message from Ten Hag to the players if you yourself are like, oh, I don't know about this?
Right, so you have to be in 100%.
Well, I think you may question some things, but you also know that in the end, his decision goes and whatever he wants goes. And so you have to make the best of that situation and make sure that you put out that message to the players as clearly as possible, hoping that that translates into results, even though you may think in your heart and soul, this is probably not the right thing to do.
Mario, you must know Ruud quite well, yes?
Yeah, I played with Ruud. I played against him and played with him for Holland. So as a coach, I think he did well at PSV. Then, he left that job, and then this opportunity came up. He took that job. The only thing I had is that I want to know who brought him in. Was it really Ten Hag's move, or was it the club?
It was the club. It was the club. It wasn't Ten Hag.
If it was Ten Hag's move,
it was the club.
You see, so there when it was the club, it's a whole different situation because you could see some like a little bit friction on the bench. One time there was in the game, we could see it came out, it was exposed. And what Ali said, Ali is totally right. When you're the assistant, you only make the plan towards the main man. The main man has a plan, you just facilitate in that plan and in his thinking. But when you now he's gonna get his chance to put his structure and how he wants to play. So we don't know what he's gonna do, but it's definitely gonna be better. And one of the things, what is key, you have to have respect at a club. People have to respect you. And when things don't go well, they don't say it, the players, but you could have easily been that. Some of the rumors started to go around that people don't like or listen to you anymore. But with Ruud, because he has shown it, so no one will be able to say anything. They will straight away from the get-go kick off and do whatever he wants, and then later on, okay, if they bring somebody new in, okay, then it stops. But one thing, I think Ruud is already a step ahead just because being Ruud. And then it comes down to, can you really bring the best out of us?
Mario, do you think United and other big clubs around Europe should adopt a philosophy like what Barcelona is doing by focusing more on their youth teams and bringing them up into the first team? Wouldn't that help stabilise a culture at some of these clubs?
I come out of that culture, so that's the same thing. I mean, I will always say that is the best way. You understand? I came up like that. I was 9 years when I joined Ajax. I became a pro when I was just 18, turning 19. So I will always say this is the best way. Why I say it's the best way? It's not only business-wise the cheapest way, because if you bring in a young kid, your own talent, then the value that you drop into him, he becomes a pro, then you can, financially you can win it back. But away from that also is those guys understand the culture, and they are willing to give what the culture is all about. And of course, it has to be implemented by maybe you need some more experienced players around and more, one or two. But I think the culture of the club should always be the local boys. The boys that are from there should always be in there. You don't have to have the full team of it, but you definitely have some young boys, because those are the ones why people come to the stadium. When you come on as a young boy and you play for Ajax, the moment you come on in a 50,000 stadium, I tell you, it was like a dream was completed, because I came on and I was like, wow. And I think every club has that. Barcelona, yes, because the structure of Barcelona and Ajax have a lot of similarities, because a lot of Dutch people go in there, and Johan Cruyff being connected to it. But then away from all the other teams, I mean, Benfica is doing it.
There's something to be said about the fact that, in the case of Mario, 9 years in the club before he turns pro, the moment, as Mario just pointed out, that you step on the field, this is, you've been building your whole life for this moment. And so being part of this first team is now the realization of everything that you worked for. And so you never want to let go of that. because this is what I've dreamt. This is what puts me in a different level. This is what I've been working for. And so when you have grown up in that sort of environment, everything matters. Everything matters. All the relationships that you build in the club matter. The relationship with the people that work behind the scenes matter. The people in the cafeteria, they matter. The assistant coaches in the youth teams, they matter. Everything matters. And I cannot help but think that all of that helps to create an environment in which everybody's pulling in the same direction. That you're not just a hired gun. You're not just a guy who was purchased. And I'm not saying that the guys that they buy for a big price, big money, whatever, they don't try for the club. But man, it doesn't cut them nearly as deep as it does a guy who has been there for 9 years trying to work his way up to the first team when things are not going well. And so you have to imagine that those guys that come from within are the ones that have to be the foundation of a club. And you build around that, and you bring the other pieces, and then you become the super club. But you have to build from within first.
Ali.
Oh.
Are you back to Pedri as the best midfielder in the world, or do you still think Jude is the best?
No, you have a soft spot for Pedri.
I have a tremendously soft
So you
spot.
just sold him a little bit at one point.
No, well, because he needed to be on the field.
All right.
And that's been my only contention with Pedri, is that he has to be injury-free and he has to be fit. When he's fit and when he's playing, he's welcome back to sit at the table. Yeah. And my son, out the door. Get.
Which one?
Alejandro's already out. Look at this guy. In college, that's all right. Stay in college. Pedri's coming home.
Oh, final question is for you, Ali.
Oh, boy.
Who had a worse defense over the weekend? Real Madrid or the Dallas Cowboys? The Cowboys lost to 49ers, yes? Is that correct?
Yeah, and
That was last night, right?
Yes, and with the Cowboys.
I watched some of that.
Good.
Watched a little bit of that.
Yeah. Thank you. Did you support the Cowboys yesterday?
No.
Oh,
Shaka had a long blink during any sporting event. Shaka has a nap.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have had many injuries defensively. But I'm not going to give them an excuse. But my concern with the Cowboys, beyond whatever they do defensively, Dak Prescott. See, you got to throw the ball to the guys in white. You know, the guys with a helmet that have a star on it, you pass to them, not to the other team. Dak!
Oh, damn.
Pass the ball to the Cowboys.
And how rare is the Hail Mary that we saw in the Bears game?
It's very rare, actually. And actually, what's even more rare is the fact that while everybody collapsed on the ball, it didn't even take a great catch. The guy was just standing there like, oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate this.
There's not really an equivalent, is there? Like the goalkeeper going up.
Well, maybe.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, that.
Remember when I went up, Dan?
Yes, I remember when you went up, Shaka, and you dived out the way when the ball was coming towards you.
And underrated and underappreciated in that Hail Mary play is the fact that Jane Daniels, the quarterback, ran around for essentially 15 seconds to make sure that everybody got down there so that they could get there in position, and that they actually gets the ball over to where it's now there's a chance. But there's always an element of luck. Great luck for the Commanders. Never mind the Cowboys.
Oh, well, there we go. There, a little bit of extra analysis there. Who needs NFL Live?
You feel a little bit hurt. It's almost
I'm let down.
Because the question was about Real Madrid and Dallas Cowboys. You didn't touch Real Madrid. It was just
Real Madrid.
It was just deep.
Days.
That Cowboys hurt.
This is about the Cowboys. You know, I have nobody to talk to about the Cowboys at home. I turned to Melissa. She's asleep.
When Pedri joins you, it'll be all right.
Pedri, you want to talk about the Cowboys?
Here we go. That's it. ESPN FC will be back on your screens tomorrow. Are you working again, Ali? I feel like you've done a lot of work recently. Are you back tomorrow?
I'm off tomorrow.
I'm here tomorrow, Dan.
Yes, you are.
I'll bring you that video of me going forward, going up for Hail Mary.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you remember your coach's name.
And
What's it going to be, a VHS? What's it going to be?
Betamax.